our last performer of the evening. Please applaud as much as you can. Turn the volume all the way up in your hands for our final comedian, Chloe Cole.
I just want to point out that Alec and I live in the same dorm and hang out like every day, and he couldn't write an intro for me. Just want to point that out. Yeah, thanks, Alec. Well, actually, like before the show, he came to me. He was like, "All I have is that you work at Disneyland." I was like, "I talk to you every single day." Oh my God. So narcolepsy. Narcolepsy. Do you know what narcolepsy is? It's a sleep disorder. Yeah, it's like you fall asleep, you have like a trigger and it makes you fall asleep. I know about it because I went to elementary school with this girl who had it. And her trigger was she'd fall asleep when she was excited, which sucks because she couldn't go to Disneyland, she couldn't own a Furby, like none of these things we all could do in our childhood. Because she'd fall asleep on the roller coasters at Disneyland. I think that'd be really hard for her, but also like harder for her friends and family, because that's a pretty easy tell if she were excited. Like, if you got her a present and she wasn't into it, you could totally tell, like, right away. She probably had to pretend to be falling asleep a lot. She's like, "Oh, Mom, you got me mittens for Christmas. Oh, I'm so tired. Thanks." I bring up narcolepsy because I was recently diagnosed with narcolepsy. It took them a while to find it. I have a really subtle trigger. My trigger is I fall asleep when I'm really, really tired. That's my trigger. So who took an airplane recently, back from winter break? Yeah, airplanes. I don't like airports. I find them confusing. I don't get the arrivals and departure signs, because it's like, I'm arriving in a car right now, but later I'll be departing in a plane. And also, like, what if I'm like picking a friend up? Like, I'm arriving in a car, but later I'll be departing in the same car. And isn't life just a series of arrivals and departures? It's just the locations that change. Which is funny because I don't have a departure from this joke. Meta. Love it. Yeah, I've been doing comedy, dabbling in comedy, like stand-up comedy for like a year now. And I've gone to some comedy clubs in Chicago, and if you're a female comedian at a comedy club, you can it's guaranteed to be sexually harassed by male comedians. So I did a show the other week, and after I got off the stage, a male comedian came on the stage after me, grabbed the microphone and said, "Chloe's the only comedian I'd have sex with here tonight. Chloe, you want to have sex with me?" And I was like, "Has that ever worked for you? Why would you say that?" And I was telling my friend Dan about it. And I was like, "You know what, next time, I'm going to give him a taste of his own medicine, his own sexual harassment medicine. I'm going to grab the microphone after he goes and be like, 'Hey, John, you're the only guy to have sex with here tonight. You want to have sex with me?' And Dan was like, 'That's going to backfire immediately.' He's probably going to jump on stage and pull his pants off. Be like, 'Let's do this.' Because guys like casual sex more than women. My stuff is groundbreaking, guys, right? Right? The question is, can a man and a woman have casual sex over a long period of time and not develop feelings for each other? And by have sex over a long period of time, I don't mean many sessions of sex over many months. I mean one session of sex that lasts multiple months. Tantric casual sex. And the answer is no. They will develop feelings, okay? Feelings like frustration, hunger, exhaustion. Or the feeling that they are Siamese twins that are connected at the genitals. Yeah, I think I answered that question adequately. Thank you. Yeah, I'm talking about this like difference between guys and girls because I'm single. Woo! That's the hand motion you have to do when you say that on stage. When you say you're single, people are like, "Oh, what do you look for in a guy?" And I just look for a guy who's obsessed with me, who just like worships me, because then it's like, we have so much in common. You see it too. Let's talk more about me. When you ask a guy what he looks for in a girl, guys always get an answer, and they think it's really original. They're always like, I look for a girl who's pretty without any makeup on. Like, duh. No guy's like, oh yeah, I look for a girl who's pretty only with makeup on. I want a girl who has to spend an hour on her face before she looks acceptable. And they also say it like they're being so generous. They're like, I'm just looking for genetic perfection. Is that too much to ask? Yeah. In elementary school, I used to part my hair down the middle, which is immediate, like, makes you look androgynous immediately. It's like the center part, you're like right between the sexes, right there. And I cut my hair to my shoulder, like in 3rd grade or so, and I went into school and everyone's like, oh my God, you look exactly like a Hanson brother. And I was so upset, I was like, what are you guys talking about? And then I went home and looked in the mirror and I was like, yep, I got nothing. I look exactly like a Hanson brother. And that sucks when you have bullies who bully you and you can't say anything in return because they're like, what they're teasing you about, they're being completely accurate. Like, I looked exactly like a Hanson brother. So I went back to school and I was like, bop. Thanks. We're, hold on, I'm gonna check my set list. That's right. That's where I kept it. We were sharing religious views once at my high school, and this kid stood up, and he grabbed the microphone, and he said, my mama said, God don't like gay, and God don't like ugly. And I was like, okay, the first part of that statement, that's just normal run-of-the-mill homophobia. Okay, God don't like ugly? What does God have against ugly people? I thought Jesus was all about the poor and the meek. And I'm assuming meek means ugly. I mean, if ugly people face prejudice every single day, and if they can't depend on God's love, whose love can they depend upon? Like, that's what religion's about. Like, yeah, your life sucks right now. Everyone says you're ugly. But when you get up to heaven, it's gonna be great. You're still gonna be ugly, but everyone's gonna be too busy hating gay people. Take the communion. Yay!